Welcome to all you Geminis out there. This is your yearly horoscope for 2023 in a nutshell, of course, because I don't want to make those videos super long, but I want to give you a little bit of the flavor that 2023 will be all about. I'm not going to talk about all the Mercury retrogrades that are going on, of course. They are going to be significant for you, but that's for the monthly horoscopes. The only thing I want to say about your ruler Mercury going retrograde so many times is that it's going to be in earth signs, and that's going to be in your emotional houses. So the Mercury retrogrades are going to be about your emotions. So emotionally, you are thinking a lot, you are reassessing a lot of things like what can I do to nurture myself? What can I do to relax? What can I do to have close intimacy with a significant other? All of these sweet things, but not easy things to consider, of course. But this is going on for you. Of course, we start the year very, very, very positive for the Geminis. Why? Because at the midst of the year, I think it's around about the 11th. Let's double check here. Mars is going direct in your sign. Yeah, the 13th, 12th, 13th, depending on where you're living, Mars is direct in your sign. So I've been talking about that a lot in the monthly horoscopes, but you're getting the green light to start and to go forwards very fast. Whatever it is that you want to start in your life, whether it was a project that you were working on, whether it was for your work or your personal life, you may have done something on your home, you may have done something in a relationship to re-establish that power, because that's what Mars in the first house is all about. It's to re-establish your power. And now you're starting going forward here. Then you're the only sign of all the 12 signs who've got this. So make advantage or take advantage of that you've got that energy of, look, I'm in control here and I have the power here and I'm in the driver's seat. That is in control here. I mean, as much as you can, of course, because we are not gods. But this is very, very powerful. Now, what else is going on? Pluto, I start with the outer planets. So Pluto is in Capricorn, and that is for a long time that it is in your 8th house. So you are transforming, you keep on going there with the transformation when it comes to issues like deep psychological insights, the money that you share with other people, but also deep psychological stuff that you need to tackle in order to get over it, so to speak. And this is still going on up until March, because on the 24th of March, Pluto shifts into Aquarius, and that's way better for you because that's a fellow air sign. So you're going to feel the uplifting energy. Well, Pluto is always heavy and intense, but in your 9th house, it more has to do, and it's going to stay there up until June. So it's a short period of time from March to June that you've got that positive energy from Pluto that is establishing and transforming your beliefs. So you could, all beliefs, they go, and some new come in, but it's in a quite smooth, well, if you can say smooth, but it's in a quite easy way for you, but still intense, if you know what I mean. And then after June, it goes back into your 8th house. So that energy is not the most significant, but still going on there. Now, what is way more significant for you is the energy of Neptune, because Neptune is in a fellow mutable sign, which is in the sign of Pisces, and it's going up until 22 degrees to 27 degrees of Pisces. So Gemini will feel the most attention of Neptune squaring up to their, if it's your sun sign or your moon sign or your ascendant, and they will feel it the most who've got the degrees there. So of course every Gemini will feel it, but the ones who are born around at about the 14th up until, you could say, the 19th, the 20th, 19th, 20th of June, they will feel it the most. So they've got Neptune there, squaring up. So that is a bit insecure energy, but especially when it comes to your work. So at its best, how you use this energy at your best, it's being creative, being a bit artistic even with your work. Even if you're an IT specialist, just being creative, doing something for the collective. You can't go really wrong there if your intention is pure. But for some of you, it can indicate being a little bit lost when it comes to their career, not really knowing where they're heading. If that is the case, don't force it. Don't force it. Go with the flow, have a look at the parallel universes that Neptune is providing you, and know that this will pass, and that after this time, you will have clarity. And that's the purpose. The unclarity is there to have a bigger view of what is possible. Uranus will be still in your 12th house. That was last year the same, so that's not so significant for you, except that you could have some sudden insights when it comes to your unconsciousness. So that will still be going on for you for sure. Now Saturn is shifting in Pisces. That's also significant for you. So it is still in Aquarius up until March, and that has a very, very positive effect on your belief system, when you learn something, when you want to teach yourself. This is amazing energy because it's grounding you a lot. And even for your travels, you are like very stable, and you are, when it comes to your belief systems, it's very grounded. You walk your talk, so to speak. But as I said, from May and onwards, Saturn is going to be in your 10th house of work, so also in the sign of Pisces. So it is a square, so there is a bit of tension there. So it could mean that when it comes to your work, it's not always going as you want it to be. But it's important to not run away from Saturn. And that is not running away from responsibilities, doing things that are necessary, you know, if you have to do some steps there, and not expecting too much from your bosses or anything like that. Put you know, the on the shoulder. I can't seem to find a word now, but don't expect it too much. Give it to yourself. You know, that's way more important, and that is ultimately the lesson of Saturn. It's don't go outside looking for validation. Go within, and especially when it comes to your work. Now the nodes are shifting from Taurus, Scorpio to Aries and to Libra. That's a good thing for you, because it's air and fire, and that goes well with your air energy. So yes, up until May, there is still this North Node in your 11th house, focusing on your goals. It's a good time to still do that. Focusing on your expansion on a social level, on a network level, and all of that. But more towards the end of the year, and as from May and the end of the year, the North Node is in the 12th house, which is more an exploring of how can I relax, how can I understand the blind spots that I have, and how can I understand, be more spiritual, but in a very healthy way, that is. Now, last but not least, Venus. There is a retrograde of Venus in July. As from July up until September time, Venus is in Leo, and for you that's fantastic because it's well, not fantastic, it's nice. Let's put it that way. It's in a sextile in your 3rd house, so going retrograde, going backwards and forwards. So there could be Venus there is what we love, right? And in the house of the 3rd house, it's short trips, it's learning, it's teaching, traveling, communicating. But it's also thinking a lot about love, Venus, love or money, or the things that we love to do, which is expressing yourself, because it's in Leo after all. So all of these things are going to be very important during that time of July and up until September. And I think for you, it's definitely, you could go back to an old country, or not an old country, a country you already went. Also your connection with siblings, your connection with neighbors, that you could reassess that in a way. So so that is good as well, when Venus will go forwards, then that you can re-establish those relationships in a healthier way. So yeah, a bit of everything you could say, but nothing that I would say is really overruling everything. So we don't have the Saturn-Uranus square anymore. We don't have a Pluto square Uranus. So the outer planets are not clashing. So that means that there is a little bit more air to breathe, and you do like that because you're an air sign. So all in all, a pretty interesting energy there. There's not so much focus on love. I didn't talk about love, but it's when it comes to love, it's definitely you sitting in the driver's seat. Remember, what do you want in love, with Mars in your first house? Other than that, I wish you all the best, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.